Hi, I'm going to be repairing my toilet. This is actually the second time I've done this because two of my toilets didn't work. I survived one. This is the second one, so I should know what I'm doing by now, but I'm sure that I don't. At least today I have my lovely assistant and camera person who's kindly agreed to... Yes?
I'm just here for moral support.
Okay, moral support. Alright, so the first thing you have to do... Now this kit, complete all-in-one, it says easy to install. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. Has instructions. It's intimidating, but you know, when you're by yourself and you have no choice, you can do it yourself. And I tend to doubt myself, but I got through it, so you can do it. I'm a single mom, so there is no one to help, no guy in the picture to do this. Okay, first step is to turn the water off. So there's a little thing down here. And you're going to turn this clockwise, which I've already done. And so the water's going to empty out. There will still be a little bit of water, but then you soak that up with towels. So I went ahead and did that to save a bit of time. Okay, so step one, remove old parts. So remove tank lid, turn off water supply. Remove water supply coupling nut. So the water supply is under here, and there's this white thing. If you can see that, we're going to remove that. A little bit of water is going to come out, but it's not the end of the world. So you may need a... Oh, I'm actually getting it. The first time I think I needed a wrench to get it started, but maybe I'm stronger now. I'm actually just doing it by hand. So you loosen that guy. And I should mention that I am not handy whatsoever, and I have no plumbing experience other than just the other day doing the first one. Okay, so a little bit of water is coming out. Oh, we're good. All right, so next step. Water supply. Remove fill valve from tank. Okay, so there's another thing under here that I've got to loosen. I think that was with a wrench. Find pliers. Okay, I need this out of the way now. Not a lot of room here to do this. What the other room I think was a bit easier. There was a little more room to do this. Okay, cut. So this is the death of fun right here. Trying to get this thing loose and it's not loosening whatsoever. How did I do this once? Like I don't even... Okay, that's not happening. Well, we'll try the wrench. I literally can't even. And I'm squished against a wall here. So I guess if your toilet is like right against a wall like this, you can only do this if you're somewhat small or like hire a dwarf to do it. I don't know. Okay, it's starting to loosen. Once you can get it loose enough to hand turn it off, we're not quite there yet. Then of course this wrench is like bigger than the world, so it doesn't even fit in the space. See, the second time you do something, it's supposed to go smoother, isn't it? And then it doesn't. And now this is happening. Alrighty. Cut! And then you think like it's never gonna happen, and then finally, ta-da! It starts to loosen, and you can get the frickin' nut off. Okay, I'm nuts. Yeah, literally. Okay, so what else do we have to get out of here? We have to get everything out of here. So can this guy lift up now? I don't know, can he? unhook the tube thing from, or you don't, unhook it from here, that's easier. Okay, so this guy's gonna lift up now. There's nothing holding him in, ta-da! So, there you go. A little bit of water left there. Happy bucket. At least the bucket's happy. Makes one of us. And then we're gonna get, okay, so you still have some stuff in here. This guy, we're gonna loosen that underneath, and that I'm gonna need that really big wide wrench that I had to borrow from my neighbor because I didn't have a plumber's wrench. Okay, but we're gonna get these screws out of here. So, that toilet is bolted on here. Now, of course, now my hands are wet from all the stuff. Doo-doo-doo. I love when things don't work and then you're trying to show, oh yeah, I've done this once. Yeah, it went so smoothly and now it's going even worse. Or maybe you can loosen the nuts under there first. Okay, cut! Just here. Okay, so when in doubt, if one thing's not working, try it the other way. So now I'm trying to get, seriously, I'm trying to get now the nut off of here instead because the screw wasn't coming out, and this is, no, this is worse. This is even less fun than, oh wait, no, he's turning. Okay. Like, I can't even tell you, I can't even stress enough how not handy I am, and the fact that I'm doing this is like science fiction. So if I can do this, then literally anyone can do it. And I'm somebody that I always doubt myself. I just assume I can't do anything. And if there's someone else around, I would try to get them to do it. But when there's no one else around, it's all me. So even if you're a neurotic, unhandy, single mom, stressed out, going to therapy, even you can do this. It's just not fun. All right, so now we'll do the other one. I'm a bit of a germaphobe too, so this is even less fun. Lying on the floor next to a toilet. Good times. Good times. Oh my God, this doesn't even. Okay, here he's coming. Eventually, he'll come. When I looked at the instructions, I thought, oh my God, I can't do this, but then it's one step at a time, so that's all you can do. If you look at it all, it's overwhelming. But if you break it down into steps, like they have a saying, how do you eat an airplane? One bite at a time. Well, first of all, why are you even eating a freaking airplane? I don't know. Okay, so now there's that. What did I do with those screws? I think I got dust in my eye. Okay. Not fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is not a fun way to spend your day. Although it's at least when you've got moral support. It's a. Now this is gonna be wobbly. Do not let it fall because it will smash. And I learned the hard way. Porcelain does smash. My toilets haven't worked for a long time, but I wasn't motivated enough to fix them until I smashed the lid of my toilet upstairs accidentally. Because every time you flush my toilets, they don't work properly. So I had to lift the lid every time and hit the little thing go boop. Well, I didn't have to go boop, but to make them fill with water or stop filling with water. And then one day I was in a rush to get my daughter from school and I had the lid and I almost dropped it and I'm like, ah! Expletives flew and then it smashed. So then I'm like, crap. So I thought you could just buy a new lid at Home Depot. Like, why not? Nope, you can only buy a whole new toilet, which is like $200, $300. So it's like, oh my gosh. So I crazy glued the lid of the toilet, but I'm like, maybe if I fixed inside the toilet, I wouldn't have to keep lifting the lid. So then I got this kit at Home Depot and I thought, maybe I can do this, even though it's not easy and it's not fun. But a plumber wanted $125 and I'm not buying a new toilet for like $300. So I'm like, maybe I can do it myself. Okay, so every part has to come out. The handle, you can just, sorry, you can just unhook Now this guy's got a bolt. Of course, there's like a million bolts. This one you think you're done with freaking nuts and bolts. Nope. There's another one and another one. Oh, and usually it's lefty loosey, righty tighty. Sometimes it's the opposite, just to throw you off. So we're going to turn this. Right. Doo-doo-doo. Sorry, this is probably so boring for you. But what I wanted to do was inspire women like me that think they can't do things, and you can do things. It might not be perfect. I mean, I'm not as confident as the guys on YouTube that make it seem like so easy and they know what they're doing. But you can do it. Okay. So you know what? I think this just lifts off now because it's got like a gasket thing that sits on, but then, yeah. Okay, so the bowl is off. Do not drop this. That would be tragic. Then I would have to get a new toilet. Okay, so lay this puppy down. All parts out of the way. And now this thing should just lift out. I don't remember, does it? Does it? Of course not! It's got this lovely, huge thingy, gasket, that I had to borrow a wrench from a neighbor to remove it because my wrench only opened up this much, and this guy, look at this guy. Hello. Okay. This is so yeah, one thing you will need are tools. Without the tools, it's pretty much impossible. And even with the tools, it's somewhat impossible. No, I thought this was going to be easier the second time, but really, not so much. Okay, maybe if I put him like that. I do not want to break. Can't get a grip on it. Was this the one that you turned to the right or to the left? I wish I remembered. Okay, cut. So sometimes you think, this is impossible. Like, it's not even budging, but then finally, yay, it starts to twist, and there is hope, and you can get the thing off. Okay, so now that we got this guy off, I should be more organized and put the old parts, and I'm mixing up new parts and old parts. Okay, so now this thing, the flapper, can be lifted out. Alrighty, you can see kind of like buildup of the hard water yuckiness. That's why this is happening. Alright, now, where are we on our instructions? What's next? Okay, so we got all the old parts out. Now, what's it saying? Preparing the flush valve for installation. The top of overflow pipe must be cut to 1 inch below. Okay. When I first read that, I'm like, are you effing kidding me? Like, why do you make it so long? Nobody's going to have a toilet this tall. But anyways, so I'm like, I don't even have a hacksaw, which they're saying you need a hacksaw. But apparently I did have one. My mom must have bought me one. Because my mom has like everything. And so yeah, so I had one, which is just weird. But, so what I did, I mean, you could measure if your old one isn't the same, but what I do, because it's the same exact thing. So I'm just going to mark how tall it needs to be and then cut it there. The first time too, I was worried I was going to like cut my leg off or something, but somehow survived. Okay, I didn't get a crayon to mark, so I'm just going to grab a crayon. Okay, so we're going to mark. This guy is this tall. Doo-doo-doo. You know, in a million years, I would never have imagined that I would be cutting through a pipe with a hacksaw to repair my own toilet, but you just never know what each new day will bring. Never knew I was going to be a single mom either, but there we are. She's the best thing that ever happened to me, though, so Okay, toilets not so much. Okay, so now we've marked how tall it needs to be, and I am secretly, not so secretly, bitter. Fluidmaster, why didn't you just make this shorter and save me this little step? But whatever. Okay. So yeah, this is happening. I'm cutting a frickin' pipe with a hacksaw, and hopefully not sawing off my hand. Now, this is not fun, but of course your life can always be worse. Like you could be in the Saw movies and chained to a toilet and cutting off your own leg. So at least we're doing better than that guy. But not by much, because this is not fun. Cut! Literally! Get it? Oh, man. And once again, why did this seem easier the first time? Why? You know, and if you're a guy and you've got like your tool bench and fancy things, you'd probably have somewhere to put this that would be a little safer than just, you know, doing it on the floor on a towel. But I don't have a tool bench. And this is what we're doing. This is probably, ooh, yeah. Whatever you do, try not to let it slide and lose your finger, because wouldn't be good. But at least you're here to call 911, so if you need to. Okay. And then it starts to sound like it's getting through, but you still got to get through the other side. Break on through to the other side. Like this is the opposite of fun. Like if you looked up fun in the dictionary, it's this crossed out with big X through it. Do not repair your own toilet if you want to have fun. But I'm saving myself, you know, hundreds of dollars. At this point, I think the plumber's sounding like a good idea. But in a weird way, it's empowering to do things that you don't think you can do and actually getting through them, because then you see that, yeah, you know what? Even I can do this. This is so much harder than the first time. Why? Why? Because now I've got an audience. It's probably thinking, oh, good Lord, why did I tell her that I would be here for moral support when I just would rather be watching paint dry? And there he is. Okay, so, ta-da! Now we've got that shortened. I don't have to cut anything. Actually, you do have to cut something else. I'll have to cut this, but that you can just do with scissors. So where are we at here? All right. Preparing flush valve for installation. Yep, did that. Installing flush valve. Okay. So now they want me to go put this back on, and so I'm going to need, what am I going to need? I'm going to need this, and I'm going to need this little weird thing to go on the bottom. Where's the old one actually? Oh, I think it's stuck to the toilet. Hang on. That old thing. Ew. Okay, this is kind of gross. Not going to lie. It's not my favorite. It's actually really gross, but okay, so just like dust and who knows what. This really is gross when you're a germaphobe, but I mean the tank, it's not going to have anything unmentionable in it. It's just water, so not too bad. Okay, so now we're going to put this new flapper thing in, and we're going to have to attach it underneath with this lovely thing, and then put this over it. So actually, I guess I have to do that before I move the tank over there. So I'm going to put this guy in, make sure it's straight-ish. So, and at this tube Fluidmaster, they have this dial. You can decide like how much water do you want to waste. I want to waste a minimal amount, so turn it to like minimum. Okay, put this in, and I'm going to put the thing underneath, so try to hold it sort of straight inside with your hand, because then you're going to put this on the outside. And you just hand tighten it to begin with as much as you can by hand, and then you're going to get really tight with this. Most of the videos that I watched on YouTube, they were all guys doing all this. And there was one woman. She did it all herself, but then she got her husband to tighten this thing, so then he could feel like, oh yeah, I fixed the toilet. Because I tightened one nut, look at me. I don't have a man to do that, so screw it. I better be tight enough with me and this guy. Yeah, we don't need a man. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-man, but when you don't have one, you gotta do things yourself. And sometimes men are too much drama anyway. Too much heartache. No more of that for me. Okay, so then tighten that. You don't want to go too crazy. Just tighten it up. You do want it tight though, because you for sure don't want water leaking out. And I did my other toilet and no water is leaking out, knock on wood. So hopefully, although it is really loud, like the other one that I did, this part sprays water out of, you know, there's little holes under there. Why did they put those holes there? Anyway, I phoned Fluidmaster to see why is there water coming out of there instead of just the tube thing, and he said, well, a little bit of rainwater. It's not raining in my toilet, dude. A little bit of water will leak out, but it shouldn't be pouring that much. So he said the part's probably defective. They're going to send me another one. Like, really? Do you know what I went through to just put this together? Anyways, but that's just that one part I'll have to replace. Hopefully this one's okay. It better work right, or Fluidmaster is going to hear from me. Okay. All right, so that's pretty tight. Can it go any tighter? You want to make sure, because yeah, if it can move, then yeah, it better move. Do not want to leak. Okay, now this guy goes over it just to kind of hold everything in. And then that's going to sit on top of the toilet bowl. So water goes through there, all snug and tight. All right. And then you hope that this guy's straight. You hope that he is. He's a little crooked. I don't know if the world's going to end because it's not perfectly straight. I don't really feel like doing that again, so I'm going to leave it like that. I'm a perfectionist in some things, but other things I'm like, you know what, that's good enough. Especially if I'm not enjoying it whatsoever. Okay, so this guy's going to sit here precariously. Now in the other bathroom, it was flush to the wall, so it was holding that on securely. With this, not so much. So you know what? It's still leaning on the wall. Okay. Do not fall. Do not fall. Whatever you do. Okay, so now I'm going to put the other parts on. Okay, so where are we at here? Installing flush valve. Alright, installing toilet bolts. Alright, yeah, we want to do that because we want to hold that sucker on. We definitely do not want it to just be precariously dangling there. So, okay, there's a process here. So you've got the bolts showing a rubber thing. So put the rubber washer on, because that's going to prevent you from cracking the porcelain, hopefully. And then you're going to put the bolt on underneath the tank. And then there's going to be the toilet bowl. And then you're going to have another rubber one. And then you're going to have a metal washer. And then you're going to have the other bolt. Okay, so I'm going to do that. All right. And you need a flathead screwdriver, which I'm sure everybody has. Hopefully. Okay, why is... Alright. Make sure it's lined up with the holes. Hopefully. And why am I holding those bolts? I don't know. Okay. So, well, I'm holding those bolts because they're what's going to keep it on. Okay. So, there are two ways to do it. But I think the easiest just to tighten up the bolts underneath as much as you can. Can't really see, but I can't do that because I gotta hold it from the top. Okay, so holding the screw at the top, you tighten the nut by hand underneath till it's sort of holding on there. And then you can tighten the screw later when it's sort of holding it somewhat. Okay. Look at us, we're almost there. Yeah, well, not quite, but. Okay, now the other bolt, other side. It'd be nice to have a really huge bathroom where you can have lots of room to move here. Of course, if you had a really huge bathroom, you're probably rich and you could afford a plumber to do this, but that's not a good example. Okay, so. Oh, wait a second. Oh my God, holy realization, Batman. So I messed up because I forgot there's 2 steps. You have to put these on before you sit the guy on there. If only I'd remembered that from like 2 days ago when I did this. But you know, live and learn. See a few things, learn a few things. Yeah, because it's got to go part way through and then underneath. So, okay, no biggie. I can lift it up. So, this lovely guy has to have his nuts on here before it goes there. Please don't focus in on the grungy toilet. But in my defense, it's been like there for 5 years with no one touching that part of it. So, all right. So yeah, we're putting the screws on this. I'm hugging a toilet tank. What is wrong with this picture? Usually you're hugging a toilet bowl. If you had too much to drink. I don't even drink. Like, I'm sober for this. I'd like to say too. There's dust sticking in my hand. What the? Okay. All right, now we're in business. Okay, so that was the step that I missed, you know. I'm human. I mess up even when I've done this before. I've only done it once. I'm not exactly an expert. Okay, now you gotta line up these guys. There. Okay, so now we do the underneath part. Now wait. I think I can do that after. Okay, let's see what the instructions say. Installing toilet bolts, D. Okay, yeah, I think I can get this done and then do the fill valve, and then that'll be it, right? Hopefully. Okay, so the order is rubber, metal, and then the bolt. The rubber is to protect the porcelain. And then don't miss any of these steps. You know what? I maybe should have really tightened those guys though before I do this part. See, why don't I think of these things ahead? Yeah, because every part has to be tight. Although I could tighten the screws. You know what? What I'm going to do is hold. I can't. Here, I gotta lift it off again. Oh man. I'm supposed to sort of almost know what I'm doing, but again, I've done this once. Okay, so make sure these guys are really tight and they're doing their part before you do the other part. Otherwise, if any of the parts are not tight, you might have a leak, and that would be tragic. Okay. Good times. I don't know how much time is going by as we're doing this video. It feels like hours. It feels like years, really. Hopefully it's not that long, or this will be very boring to watch. But if you're trying to learn, then okay. So those are pretty tight. And really, we could tighten the screws if we need to. Okay, take three. Here we go. Okay, put this guy back on. And hope that this time I haven't forgotten anything. Okay. I can't even see where the screws are. do everything very gently, because if you overzealously put down a toilet lid or tank or what have you, it will smash and your life will get that much worse. Okay, so rubber washer and metal washer and bolt. You know, some people might find this fun, I guess. Like, I think some guys or some people enjoy putting things together. I mean, I like putting Lego together. That's kind of fun. It's not so much. So people collect tools and like doing stuff like that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I had somebody handy in my life, that would be awesome. And I would for sure let them do this, but I do not. So I have to manage even being as unhandy, that's not a word, but as I am. And I thought if I make a video, then it'll show people like me that you can still do it. Like, it's okay. Alright. Okay, now I gotta do the... he's not gonna go anywhere, but thank you though, because yeah, I'm putting on so. Alright. Okay. So once again, on the other screw, rubber washer. I'm like squished here between the toilet and there's not a lot of room. Plumbers have to be like kind of slim, because how would you wouldn't even fit in here. You'd be a big person and fit in here. Okay. Not comfortable at all. Like at all. So hand tighten as much as you can, and then use your wrench, pliers, whatever, and it up. Again, you want it to be tight enough because you do not want a leak anywhere. Alright, and you've still got the screw on the inside if you need to, and you know what? Yeah, that's looking like that's. Let's do the screw on the top. He sounds like he doesn't want to move. You gotta do. Okay. It's a little wobbly. That's gotta be more tight. I think the toilet was in an easier position upstairs. I wasn't so crammed to try to fit in there. She's like sneaking the camera behind the toilet. You're like the best sport for doing this. I don't know. Oh, that's the ticket. Okay, I had to, that, okay. So if you're finding it's not getting tight enough, push down on the tank, and that's gonna push the screw through more, and then you can tighten the bolt up higher. Because again, yeah, you want this to be on there super secure. Every part, you want it to be as tight as you can get it to go. That's better. And you'll know, because if it's not, you'll see a little drip. And then you just tighten the bolts. Okay. Ugh. There, now he's on there now. He's good to go. Why is everything he? I don't know why I do that. I refer to inanimate objects as if they're people. That's what I do. Okay, now what do we have left? We got the, what you call it, the fill valve. Okay, preparing the fill valve for installation. Okay, so fill valve, which hopefully works better than the one upstairs, and hopefully doesn't just gush water out of the sides. All right, so we've got this. We've got our refill. Oh, wait. where's the, oh, that's in the other part. Okay, so this is a clip that holds the tube on one end. So water's going to go through there. That's going to get clipped onto that guy. And you might have to cut, because once again, they give you everything way too long because they think your toilet's going to be like gargantuan. So they give you things way too long that you have to cut. Once again, I'm just going to copy the other one because it's the same. If your old set is not like the new one, then you'll have to measure. Make sure, but otherwise, try to get a clean cut so it can be flush with the other part. Okay, so now we've got, where's the rest of the parts? Preparing the fill valve for installation. Place shank onto, place shank washer onto threaded shank. Threaded shank redemption. Okay, going this way, I guess. So this black thing goes onto here. Just kind of twist him around. Place shank washer onto threaded shank of fill valve. Flat side up, very important. Okay, so he's on there. Then we're going to position fill valve intake. Do not fully install, in big letters. Okay, so we're going to put this in the toilet, but we're not going to fully install it. Okay, so there's just one hole left in here now, and that's where it's going. So he's going to go here. He's just kind of leaning. And then what? Position fill valve in tank. Set top of fill valve 3 inches above overflow tighten. Yeah, I cut things to be like the old one. Fill valve height adjustment. Do not move lock ring. Increase height or twist. So you can make this taller or shorter, but I think I just left it as it was because it was already okay, I think. Let's compare it to the old guy. Yeesh, you're just still leaking something. Like, I think it's the same. So, you, I'm happy bucket. My fingers are black. 1 second. Don't want black fingerprints on that towel. Michelle, when she washes her hands, apparently she doesn't always wash her hands very well because when she has paint or something, I look at the towel and it's covered in paint. I'm like, really? Like, that means you're not washing your hands. Please don't do that. Okay. Critical level mark. Okay. So you can see where the water used to go up to, and that's where you're going to have level. Mine is just the same. My whole thing is the same. I'm just replacing it because the hard water just ruined the other one. Okay, so to put this guy in, what the heck's on me? Ew. Okay. Align fill valve nipple to, like, really? They're calling that a nipple apparently. But, so that's going to be facing there because that little tube thing is going to go through, and where is our tube thing? Here's our tube thing. So this half clips onto here, and this, the water is going to come out of there. Make sure it's on there really tight so the water goes through. And this guy clips onto here. And on the other side, it's going to go on the nipple. It does not look like a nipple. Why don't they just call it, I don't know, a gray thing that juts out. Okay, like that. And now how do we get this on tight? Well, we've got to put a bolt underneath. And it's a white thing. Okay, hand tighten only, do not over tighten. Okay, so don't use a wrench or anything to tighten this plastic guy. Just your fingers, so. Which one was it? It's this, I guess. This thing. Which way is it going? Flat side up again. Hand tighten only, do not over tighten. Over tightening may crack fill valve or tank, causing flooding. We do not want that. So I'll tighten this as much as I can. If you have flush and sparkle self-cleaning toilet system, we don't have that. Okay, Okay, here we go. So this guy is going on. And so I'm just underneath. Just gonna, there he goes. Tighten that as much as I can as I'm holding this. It's hard when they say do not over tighten. Well, I don't know what's over tightening, man. I don't know how strong I am. I broke a toilet in half, for crying out loud. Okay. So that's on there. We're almost done. Please work. Like, just please work. Okay. Now what? Installing lever and flapper chain. Oh yeah, so you probably need a handle to flush your toilet, right? Now, the problem is, this new fancy schmancy silver one that they gave me, as pretty as it looks, it's got this big long thing. Like, why do they have to make it so long? So I'm torn. Like, do I just keep the old one? Or do I cut the, I don't want to use the hacksaw again. I really don't. So you know what? I think I'm just going to leave the old one. Like, sorry, Fluidmaster, but you dropped the ball here. Like, you should have, again, you're making it too long. How big do you think this toilet is? How big would a toilet have to be that long? Anyways. Okay, we're just going to use the old one because if there's a way to make life simpler, just make it simpler. That's my motto. Okay. So, that's going to go on there. Installing lever and flapper chain. Okay, so this guy's going to screw on here. Now, why aren't they showing me how this, I guess flat side again. And that, you just hand tighten that. Oh. Again, it's the opposite of what you would expect. To tighten it, you're going to the right. Most things, actually, yeah, you can do it. Okay. And that's going to flush the toilet. So now we need the chain attached to it. The chain is, okay. You might have to play with the length, like you don't know. You just have to make sure that it'll flush it. Okay, so this is like so. That's gonna lift it. Boop. Okay. Let's see. Have I missed anything? Installing lever and flapper chain. Adjust the high performance flapper. Well, I'm gonna have minimum because I don't want to waste too much water. Just what you need. And attach water supply connector, which is what? It's another white thing. Is it this? That's the only thing left, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say it must be this. If there's a part still waiting, then how come that's got a mark on it? Is that the old one or the new one? Ay, caramba. I'm not seeing any others, so I think that's really it. Hang on. Connector. Water supply coupling nut to fill valve. Turn clockwise by hand until tight. Over tightening the nut could damage fill valve. Or coupling nut. Here's that thing. I don't want that. Oh, you know what? It's just this, and it's still on there. It's part of it, so I don't even. What is this? Oh, this must be the old one. Okay, so now this part underneath is what attaches to the water supply. So we're gonna screw that on. As tight as it will go. Water supply. Does it say the hand tightness? Yeah, it says not to over tighten it, so. Alright, now the scary part. Turning the water back on and hoping everything works. Okay, make sure everything is tight, secure. Just for fun, just make sure one more time. Screws are tight. Alright, so almost at the end. Oh yeah, I think it only lets you record 30 minutes. So we've been doing this for half an hour then, because the camera's just run out. It's just said, nope, that's it. But we're almost done. We're almost done. Let's get some of this dirt out of here. Okay, I'm scared to turn the water back on. I hope this works. All right. So everything seems to be there. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Okay. Moment of truth. So you turned it on. You turned it clockwise to turn it off. So counterclockwise to turn it on. And okay. Now the water's coming out of the bottom instead of up here, but it's coming through the tube too. It is filling up, but come on, Fluidmaster. I thought it was just supposed to come through the tube. Oh well. As long as the toilet fills up and flushes, we are happy. It should stop at the water level. Oh, half an hour? That's not too bad, right? I'm not a plumber. Okay. Alright, so it filled back up. Now, moment of truth. Is it going to flush? And it does. It's flushing. It's filling back up. It's pretty noisy. Gotta be honest. It's not quiet. But it's filling up. That works for me as long as I don't have to pick up the lid every time and touch that little thing every time. I'm happy. Michelle's not going to like it because she doesn't like noisy toilets, but that's too bad. I mean, you go to the bathroom. It's not supposed to be pleasurable. It's just a necessity. Okay, let's make sure there's no water dripping out anywhere. Make sure. We survived! Thank you. Thank you for your moral support and being here. I've got 2 toilets that work now, and I did it myself. So you too can buy the Fluidmaster all-in-one toilet repair kit for $30 at Home Depot. It's not perfect, but